notice what's happening in our world today? Russia and Ukraine are at war. Israel and Iran are in constant tension. The United States is entangled in conflicts all across the globe. China is flexing its power. Nations are rising against nations, and everywhere you look, war is brewing. And while the world is shaking with conflict, the cost of living has skyrocketed. Food, gas, housing, clothes. Life costs more than what people make. Families are stretched thin. Parents are working harder than ever. And yet it feels like no paycheck is ever enough. Now, this isn't just coincidence. Howard O. Pittman, in his book, Demon and Eyewitness Account, explained that two demonic forces are working overtime in the last days: the demon of war and the demon of greed. The warring demon's job is to stir up conflict between nations. He creates conditions that seem so unbearable, so frightening, that people will cry out for peace at any cost. He divides the world in two camps and drives them closer and closer to war until mankind is willing to compromise all principles just to avoid destruction. Take a moment to think about this. Have you noticed how often leaders talk about peace while preparing for war? How often people say, we'll do anything just to feel safe? That's not just politics, it's spiritual influence. The warring demon doesn't work alone. The demon of greed is his greatest ally. In James chapter 4, verse 1 through 2, tells us that wars are born out of our greed, our lust for what we don't have. Greed causes nations to fight for resources, power, and wealth. It causes individuals to put me and mine before God. Greed makes us believe we deserve more status, more comfort, more things, even if it means working ourselves to death. These two spirits, war and greed, walk hand in hand. War fills people with fear. Greed destroys the economy. Together, they drive the world into chaos, making humanity desperate for a savior. And in that desperation, the world will be ready to receive the Antichrist as the so-called solution. Pittman himself confessed that greed once deceived him. He worked 80 to 100 hours a week just to maintain a high standard of living. He thought God understood, but in reality, he was sacrificing his children, his time, and even his worship at the altar of greed. And when he stood before God, the Lord told him plainly that kind of life was not worship, but an abomination. Now pause and reflect for a moment. Can you imagine standing before God as a Christian who went to church whenever you could, who thought working long hours just to provide for your family was pleasing to him, but realizing you never truly served God by putting him first? Is this your life condition right now? And look around today. The signs are everywhere. Wars and rumors of wars dominate the headlines. Prices climbing higher while wages lag behind. Violence, immorality, and lawlessness flood our world. Let me ask you honestly, do you see these things and simply shake your head? Or do you recognize them? That they're signs of spiritual warfare? Or are you awake, Or have you grown numb to the warning signs? Friends, these are not random. They are spiritual strategies. The warring demon and the demon of greed are preparing the stage for the Antichrist. But Jesus told us, see that you are not troubled, for these things must come to pass. Matthew 24 verse 6. And he promised, in this world you will have tribulation, but take heart, I have overcome the world. John 16:33. So, I leave you with this reflection. Where are you placing your trust? Is it in your job? Is it in your money? Is it in government? Or in the one who has already overcome? The answer is not in chasing wealth, not in trusting world leaders, but in returning to God, seeking his kingdom first, and standing firm in his promises.